Priyadarshan HP, working as an assistant professor in RR Institute of Technology. So today I am going to explain in fluid mechanics lab, that is broad crested weir. What we will conduct the experiment in fluid mechanics lab, that is broad crested weir. So before going to that particular experiment, so what do you mean by weir? So what is the types of the weir? So when you are considering here, the weir is nothing but this is the barrier which will be constructed across the river. You can consider in here the stream. So why we will construct this particular, that is obstruction, that is to change the flow characteristic. Whatever we will be getting here, the discharge and everything, if you are considering here any particular the river or stream and everything, so to change the flow characteristic, we will be constructing here, that is the weir structure. So the weir which will be the constructing by the masonry structure, that is the concrete blocks, and also that will be in the rectangular shape. So this particular weir, it may be having here the different shapes. So they have divided here based on the shape. You can consider again based on the crest level. When you are considering here the based on the shape, so weir it is having three types. Based on the shape, it is having three types, that is triangular weir, and also trapezoidal weir, and also rectangular weir. And also based on this particular the crest, it has classified into four types. The first one you can consider in here sharp edged. You can consider in here that is sharp crested weir. The second one you can consider in here that is narrow crested weir. The third one you can consider in here that is broad crested weir. The fourth one you can consider here that is oogie weir. So when you are considering here the based on the requirement as well as the discharge capacity of the water, so they will be installing, that is they will be implementing this particular the weir that is in the hydraulic structure. And also when you are considering here based on that particular the crest, so here you can consider in here that is broad crested weir. But where you will apply this particular the broad crested weir, and also where you can apply the sharp crested as well as the narrow crested. First I will be going for the sharp crested. When you are consider here that is whatever the obstruction, that is the masonry structure, so it will be having here the sharp crested, that is which will be the tip of the, you can consider the corner, it will be having here the sharp edge. So that will be considering here that is sharp crested weir. Where you will apply this particular sharp edge? When you are considering here that sharp crested weir, always we will be using in the notches. So in the notches, maximum of the cases they will be using the metal plate, the metallic plate we will be using, so that they will be using here the sharp crested weir. When you are going for the narrow crested, broad crested as well as the oogie weir, always they will be constructing in the open channel. Always the sharp crested weir that will be constructing in the notches by using here the thin metallic plate, and also if you are considering for the narrow as well as the broad oogie weir, always constructing in the open channel. This is, you can consider, this is the open channel section. You can consider in here the canal and everything. So how it will be work when you are considering here, that is the broad crested, the narrow crested and everything. So when you are considering here, you can consider this is the front view of the channel. You can consider this is the side view of the channel. So when the obstruction, you can consider this is the obstruction, and water which will be flowing in that particular the normal level. When the water which will be, when you are giving the obstruction in that particular the channel section, water discharge, whatever the water discharge, it will be changes from the upstream to downstream. You can consider this is the upstream, and also this you can consider in here the downstream. Whatever the water which will be flows, and also directly it will be, it's on this particular obstruction, here the discharge will be changes. So this is the concept of that particular, that is the weir, what we will construct and everything. First I will go with the broad crested weir. So you can see this particular figure here, they are constructing that is the broad crested weir, and also the broad crested weir always which will be the constructed in the rectangular shape. when you are going for the narrow or if you are going for oogie weir and everything, so this will be constructed in the rectangular in shape, and also where the water flows if it is more, so that they will be constructing the broad crested weir. So if the water flow, if it is more, the flowing of the water if it is more, that they will be using here the broad crested weir. And also we will be having another condition, if the breadth of the any particular weir, that is the breadth of the broad crested weir, if it is greater than or equal to 2.5 times of the edge. If the breadth of that is broad crested weir, if it is greater than or equal to 2.5 times of the edge. Edge is nothing but you can consider here height of the water at the upstream. You can see over here, this is you can considering here upstream, this we will be considering here that is the downstream. So if the height of the water at the upstream, that is whatever you will be considering over here, if it is equal or greater than the width of that particular, that is broad crested weir, so that we will be constructing the broad crested weir. And also here we will be having here the water level which will be increases in the upstream. After reaching that particular the downstreams and everything, the water level which will be decreases. So you can considering here the small h. Small h is nothing but height of the water above the weir. Whatever we will be constructing over here above the weir, so that is considering here the small h. And also if we are considering here the broad crested weir, always the velocity will be more in the upstream side. When we are considering here the broad crested weir, velocity will be more in the upstream side, and also the velocity will be less in the downstream side. When we are consider the velocity also which will be depends on the flow characteristic, and also we have to consider over here, and also this height of the water at the upstream you can considering here the section 1. So how you will, because when you are going for any particular experiment, we have that is Q theoretical, that is what is the theoretical discharge, and also what is the actual discharge by doing the experiment. So to finding the Q theoretical, we have formula over here, that is 2 by 3 into L, that is root of 2g. When you are considering here, it is having root of 2g into h 3 by 2. So when you are considering L is nothing but what is the length of the broad crested weir, and also the g is nothing but the gravitational forces, and also h is nothing but height of the water at the upstream. You can consider here 1. So by using this particular formula, we will be getting here the Q theoretical. So again we have to find the Q actual. What is the actual discharge in the experiment? That is experiment setup. So here we have here formula, that is A into H divided by 10. A is nothing but area of the measuring tank. H is nothing but what is the height of the water, that is tank, and also T is nothing but to fill that particular 10 centimeter of the tank. So what is the time taken? So here we will be getting here Q actual. By using here Q theoretical, Q actual, we will be getting here the coefficient of discharge, that is CD is nothing but Q actual by Q theoretical. What is the main aim? When you are considering here to determine the coefficient of discharge by using here broad crested weir. But if you are considering here what is the main objective of the broad crested weir, it is to determine the depth of the water which will be flowing over the weir, that is which will be flowing over the weir, and also discharge through the weir. Whatever the water which will be flows, everything which will be discharged through the weir section. To finding what is the coefficient of discharge through the weir, here we will be constructing that is broad crested weir. So you can see this particular the broad crested weir, how it will be. So this is the water level which will be flows. After increasing in the discharge, water which will be falls in the parabolic form. When it is falling in the parabolic form, soil erosion which will be reduces. So you can see over here here also the water level, it is you can considering total h, height of the water. Here the small h you can considering over here, that is height of the water above the weir. Always we have to take the initial reading, that is capital H, and also you can considering here the final reading, the small h. This is the experiment setup which will be considering for the broad crested weir. You can see this is rectangular block, and also which will be having here the gauge what we will consider to find what is the height of the water when we are giving the discharge. So this is the water inlet, the water which will be flows on over here. So what we have to do here? That is, first we have to discharge some amount of the water. We have to discharge some amount of the water. So when it is reaches the topmost of this particular the broad crested, so we have to fix this particular, we have to find what is the water level. So after that you will be getting here what is the initial reading. So after that again we have to discharge the water some 10%, 20%, 30% like that. So when the discharge, if it is more, the flow also which will be increases. After discharging some percentage, what will be the final reading? So always the initial reading will be same. Why? Because always we have to take for the same level of that is the broad crested, whatever it is that we have to take for the same level. So always initial reading will be equal, and also only the final reading which will be changes. By using here the initial final reading minus of initial reading, you will be getting here, that is what is the height of the water. Okay, this is the water which will be considered. So after reaching here, we have to consider what is the initial reading for this particular one. So 70 is the initial reading. After discharging of the water, again reading the water level which will be increases. So again initial reading it was 70. Now the final reading it is considering here, that is the 90, whatever you will consider. 18.5, this is the final reading. And also after considering here, you can see over here, length of the weir, it is having 30 centimeter. Area of the measuring tank, that is having 50 into 37 centimeter. After that, to finding what is the Q actual value. So we have to consider Q actual value. So we have to consider in here the 10 centimeter of the rise. For the 10 centimeter of the rise, how much time it will take, we have to note down. That will be considering here A into H divided by T. So you will be getting here, that is what is the actual value. By using this, we have to calculate what is the CD value. That is whatever Q actual divided by Q theoretical. You can see below how it is differs when we are considering here the capital H as well as the small h. Given here 100% of the discharge, you can check what is the level of the water. Always to distribute that is to alter the flow characteristic, you will be using the broad vessel in the open channel. You can see the calculation, that is tabular column, initial reading, the final reading. The final reading minus of initial reading, you will be getting here what is the height, that is height of the water at the upstream side, as well as you will be getting your Q theoretical by using the formula, that is 2/3 into L root of 2G into H raised to 3/2. So after that we will be getting here what is the measuring tank. So H1, that is 10 centimeter of the rise. What is the after 10 centimeter rise? So what will be the total height, and also how much time it is taken. You can considering here time taken by using, that is for finding the Q actual, A into H divided by 10. A is nothing but area of the measuring tank, that is having area of, so by, and also T, you will be getting here what is the Q actual. By using the formula, that is Q actual divided by Q theoretical, you will be getting the CD value. By taking the average value, that is CD, CD1, CD2 and CD3, you will be getting here, that is what is the final, the coefficient of discharge. When you are considering here the standard value as per the, when you are considering for the wear, so it should be ranges from 0.6 to 0.75.